Now we learn the facts. $400 million lands in Tehran, and then the Iranian government releases 4 American hostages. But we are assured by our government that this was not ransom. And I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona that I would like to sell to you. Are you interested? I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Surrender.
Those who forsake the law praise the wicked. Those who uphold the law resist them. Welcome to the Voice of Resistance. Here's your host, Randall Terry.
Way back in January, when this atrocious deal with the Iranians was concluded, there were 4 American hostages released, as you know, and an Iranian general, brigadier general at the time, said that there was, in fact, money that was given for the hostages, and it didn't get much airplay. And I thought at the time that they were talking about the billions of dollars that were freed because of the Obama deal. Now we learn that there was $400 million, mostly in euros and Swiss francs, presumably no American dollars, that were flown into Tehran, and then the hostages were released. I would like to play the clip from Pastor Syed. Listen to this. This is the pastor who spent years as a prisoner and is waiting on the tarmac saying, "Why aren't you guys letting us go?" And it was because they were waiting for the money.
I just remember the night that we've been in an airport, just take hours and hours there, and I asked one of the intelligence police head that was with us that why you are not letting us to go to the Switzerland plane. And he told me we are waiting for another plane, and if that plane take off, then we're going to let you go.
You slept there at the airport?
Minutes, yes, for a night. And, they told us you're going to be there for 20 minutes, but it took like hours and hours. We slept at the airport, and when I asked them why you don't let us go, because the plane was there, pilot was there, everyone was ready that we leave the country, they said we are waiting for another plane, and until that plane doesn't come, we never let you go.
So there you have it. Now, just picture this with me. They're piling money on pallets, all right? They're shrink wrapping this money. This is like out of a James Bond movie. This is almost incomprehensible. And it's a violation of U.S. law. And there are some people who are talking about it in the press now that are surmising that the reason that they used euros, the reason that they used Swiss francs and whatever other currency they piled on, is because it would be a violation of U.S. law to give them dollars, because there's still certain sanctions in place. And because as a matter of U.S. policy, we do not pay for hostages. But clearly, if this walks like a duck and looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Okay? The plane is sitting on the tarmac. The people are there ready to go, and they are not allowed to leave until an unmarked plane, all right, a covert plane in the dead of night lands with pallets of cash. One has to think that they didn't count the money. You know what I mean? That they didn't sit there and say, all right, 1,000,001, 1,000,002. I shouldn't joke about it because it's so sad. And then the President of the United States looks us dead in the face and tells us it wasn't a ransom. John Kerry says it wasn't a ransom. Ernst, the deceiver at the microphone in the press office, says it wasn't ransom. Let's leave that question aside for a minute. Why cash? Why cash? Hard cash. If you're like most Americans, most of your business dealings are with a debit card, a credit card, or with checks, or online transfers of money, right? If you're buying something from Amazon, you're not sending them cash. You're not paying cash. Where is cash critical? I mean critical. criminal activities. Think about it. If you're paying for something that is criminal, you're not going to use a credit card. You're not going to use a check. You're going to use bills that cannot be traced. Now, why is that so important? Because Iran is still a state sponsor of terrorism. This is what one of my friends years ago called walking money. Walking money. Have you heard the stories about buying votes in certain areas of the country where people are sent out with bags of cash? This is, the Kennedy election in 1960. There were reports of large amounts of cash that were being distributed to certain key people to get them to not only vote for Kennedy, but to inspire their followers and their people to vote for Kennedy. So giving them $400 million in cash, in walking money, is a surefire way to do what? To give them the ability to sponsor terrorism, because they're a state sponsor of terrorism, with cash. You're not wire transferring money to a terrorist's account in Lebanon or in Syria. You send cash. Then the guy who gets it in his hand can go and buy whatever it is he wants to buy. Cash. I'm going to take a break. We will continue with this because it's critical. We'll take a look at Hillary's faux pas saying that she's going to raise taxes on the middle class. And a couple of friends had discussions with me yesterday, completely unknown to each other, in which they said basically one insult about Hillary and one about Trump. Hillary is evil, Trump is stupid. And I want to address that. Don't go away.